Hey folks, welcome back to Tonestar 181's channel. We have a replay today in my T49, and I will warn you up front that this game is a little bit boring, and there's a reason for it. This map is not conducive to light tanks in the least. If you look, there's ridge lines. There's a ridge line here. There's a ridge line all the way across here. This is all wide open with no cover, so there's really nowhere to go to spot for light tanks, and therefore you've got to play a more patient game, and I don't play patient enough, unfortunately, but we do get up into this area up here, and we're able to get a light right away on a Unicum platoon or close to Unicum platoon in the 907. So I am going to be keeping an eye on those guys the entire game. Unfortunately, this Centurion 7-1 is blocking me kind of out in the open, but it is what it is, and we eat 325 RD damage because of it. So at any rate, we're going to play a slow game and play around those 907s because I feel like they are the guys to beat here, and sure enough, they're blind firing into here and doing all kinds of things, but they're a very skilled platoon, and I want to make sure and negate them if I can in any way possible. And I do, it's a mixed bag a little bit on that, in that regard, but we're doing the right thing, and our team is just kind of holding heavy side. You never want to push on this map because pushing is death, because there's too many arty and too many locations for big tank destroyers to go. So, and especially from this side, if you come up and try and come around, there's always guys in this corner that are just going to farm you to their heart's content. So we're aiming for this 1357, but 257, but the problem is the aim time on this is like glacial. So not a very auspicious start, to be honest with you. But we're just trying to kind of provide what vision we can, because this is really the only place that you can provide vision on this map. So unfortunately. So it looks like it's a good map, but it really is not. So we had a sliver shot on that 257, and we did not take it. It didn't seem like it was worth it. So again, the aim time is failing me here, and like I said, this is a slow game, but it's the way you've got to play this map. If you play it fast, you're gonna die. So, as evidenced by this 1357. So I noticed this, or 1390. Why do I have 1357 in my head? I noticed this 1390 is pushed up on the bat chat, and we wait until he commits so we can get a shot in. Unfortunately, we do not pin that shot. So we are able to get back into cover, but just barely before the RD hits. And at this point, we're just trying to drop spot. So that 1390 learned the hard way that you don't push, right? Well, he was pushing a bat chat as well, which is not the wisest decision, but we're just going to continue to try and create vision. And at this point here, I decide that I'm going to move, and because the mouse is there, I feel like I can get out without taking any damage. And we successfully do that. And because I want to keep those 907s spotted. I know our Artie will work them down if they are spotted. So we come down this side and we boogie out of there, because if there's anybody up on their shelf, they're going to spot me. However, they did not. So pretty happy about that. And this poke is just, you know, okay, poke it and then pull back. That's what you need to do here. And then keep moving, because he already has shown that he likes me already, right? So this Patton is quite the hero towards the end of the game, and you'll see why. So This poke, really bad poke. I didn't even kill the guy. I did take him down to 74 health, but there's no reason to poke out there and take that kind of damage, especially after I took a hardy hit. So now I've got to be more careful, because if two of those guys, those 907s, poke me, I'm pretty much dead, right? I'm a 50-50 to die to that. So that was my poor play there. Is what it is, and I'm not done making poor plays, because I'm really good at making poor plays. But we'd like to get a shot on this Conway, and I look over to see if he's got any help. He does not. So he luckily gets away without a pen as well. So it was kind of lucky on both sides, really, because, you know, hitting that shot at that distance unaimed, you know, it's probably a 50-50. But then the fact that we hit a portion that was not pennable was unlucky too. So, but we probably busted a bunch of his modules, and we just got unlit, and we really should not be pushing this, right? Because we just got unlit. And those 907s, I believe that they spot me here, and we eat yet another shot of damage for no reason. Now I noticed that up on the shelf is one of those 907s, so I am definitely a one-shot to almost everything now. So we're going to move away from the middle. Again, it sucks, but this map is just, lights just don't do well. I'm fortunate because I do have a derp gun, so I can hurt stuff even though I'm in a light tank. I guess the 90 mil can do some work as well, but really I don't count on that per se. So next we're going to go to a location to see if we can get the tortoise involved. He hasn't been very involved in the game at all. And this location is right up here. You've got a bush, and if anything pushes down the K line, you're going to spot it. And we're also going to take a blind shot into the bushes, where oftentimes another tank will sit. Usually some kind of TD will sit there. So we got nothing better to do, right? So the situation is that our Bat Chat is very low health. Our Patton's pretty healthy, but he is getting gang tackled, and we want to go help. But we don't want to get lit for it, right? So we're going to go ahead and come over here and stay behind the bushes. Looking for the 907 first, but he is going a different direction. So we're going to go ahead and look at this T54, and we hit him for 268, but we also hit 40 on our Patton, which, sorry about that, buddy, but that's the nature of derp guns. So I'm looking at this 907 to make sure he doesn't push into me. And look at that, 110 health that Patton has, but he has really held his own against 3 tanks, no less. So we'd really like to take that 907 out. The Patton does finally go down, so now we've really only got a tortoise for support, and he's really not in a position to support me. He's really in a position where he's very vulnerable if someone was to come up underneath him. But nevertheless, he is guarding a position. He's keeping them off K-line, so that's probably okay. And this is where patience comes in, right? I know that 907 is trapped there. I know he cannot move without me spotting him. And if I spot him, then I've got the derp gun. I could probably take him out. In the meantime, we're looking for shots on this Emil 2. No such luck. But that's okay. And we're just going to sit in this bush and be patient. And sometimes that's what it takes in a light tank or in any tank, especially on certain maps. You know, there's some maps that are just very corridor. This is actually a corridor, but it doesn't look like it. The only advantage is that there is some hills, and you can use that if you've got gun depression and a good turret. but I have good gun depression, but I have no armor, so meeting up with somebody is a bad idea. So we do finally spot that 907. He probably figured I took off, and we take a chance, get a snapshot, and we're able to kill him without even getting spotted. So now the game is pretty well in hand. There's 2 guys left. There's a Conway and an Artie. And we're reloading, and we're going to go after this Conway. So again, not a super impressive game, but we've done damage to a lot of different tanks, and I'm sure we've busted some modules. I was kind of hoping this Conway would back up, but he chooses not to do that. And the Waffle is pushing him, which he should. He's got full health. And we're able to take out the Conway, and we light up the GW Tiger, and we get into cover. He takes some damage right away, and he is killed. So we ended up with 2,200 damage and 1,400 spotting, which isn't too bad. In that map, it's actually a success, and we got 2 kills out of it, and we killed one of the Unicum platoon, and we kind of kept them lit and kept them uncomfortable, which is what you want to do with Unicums. You don't necessarily have to push them and kill them right away. You just need to keep them uncomfortable and make them move and make them spot them so that they can't really push anywhere. Just keep an eye on them, because good players do not like to stay spotted. They want to be in a position where they can farm damage, and if they're not in that position, then they're going to try and move around the map to find a position to get free shots. So that's my replay. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the after action on this one. Okay, here we are at the after action. We got a first class out of that. We did hit a fair amount of guys, and look at the module damage that we did to guys. So that's actually very good. It looks like we might have hit a blind shot on that FV404. 4 crits to him. Dang. So 2,296 damage, 1,025 base XP. We were on top, but just barely. And we were able to keep that Unicum platoon lit enough that they were not able to do a lot of work. So that's not a great map for 907s anyway, because they don't have very good gun depression. So I can't claim that it was all me. It wasn't. The team did pretty well. That Patton, although he didn't do a lot of damage, he did 2,400 damage. He did a very good job of surviving the onslaught long enough that we could get some kills and reload even at a 20-second reload. So we made a few credits, and we ended up with 1,538 base XP, but we had 4,000 combined, and in that map, I'm happy with that. So sorry for hitting the ally, but derp guns be what derp guns be. So I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be putting up more content soon. We will catch you on the next one, and do subscribe if you'd like to see more.